Okay, record. And we will start a new unit today. So this new unit is regarding data wrangling and aggregation. Okay, so later on we will also learn. So first is about data wrangling. So data wrangling is a lot of time after we got to the raw data, we need to do some transformation. Okay, so so play around with it, like use join, combine, and later on we will see, okay, a lot of other ways also. So all of this considered as data wrangling. So you're going to basically transform data. Okay, so that's the general concept. So first, let's take a look. Some of the idea here previously we already learned. Okay, so we kind of do a review, but over here we also have quite a number of new ideas, okay, about data wrangling. So the first is a hierarchical indexing. Okay, so regarding data wrangling, it involves hierarchical indexing quite a lot. Okay, so over here we have an example, it's a series. So you're going to have 9 random numbers, okay? But if you take a look at the index, it has 2 lists, and for the 2 lists, each of we have a single outer list. Is it within the outer we have 2 inner lists? Is it? But both serve as index. So if you assign them to the index argument, then what you will have the data. Did you see? So this is called hierarchy. Multi-layer indexing. Okay, so we have 2 levels. Okay, so that's multi-indexing. Okay, so this example, we understand that here you can also use the series or data frames data index to get what the index is. So here it shows the index, it's a multi-index. Okay. And because you have index, then we can find the data item, is it, through indexing. So basically here you do the indexing, is it? And if you recall for the index B, is it, there are multiple items, so it will show all of the items that belong to the index B, okay? And also over here, you continue using indexing, but over here, what we did is what? Is slicing, is it, over here. So we use the index to do slicing. And then for this one, so you use a list, is it, within the list, you use comma to give the name of the index, is it? So this is multi-indexing, is it? So you have, it's not a multi-level indexing, okay? So you pick multiple items, use multiple index, is it? So here we pick index B and index D, okay? And then you can also, if you recall, use loc, is it, use location, and then you give the index name, is it? And what over here shows, what over here is, be careful, okay, here, this is serious, is it? This is serious, and it's a series, but it have multi-indexing, it's a multi-level indexing. So for first level, it select all. For the second level, is it? So this is, for the second level, you are going, so for the first level, you do slicing. For the second level, you do indexing, is it? So let's take a look back. So that the original data, is it? This is the original data, is it? And for the first level, we said, okay, we are going to pick all of that, is it? And for the second level, you're going to select what you have as 2, is it? Okay, so that's regarding the hierarchical indexing. Okay, and we can, if you recall, we can do stack and unstack. Is it? And because our series, so this is our original series. Original series. Is it? For the original series, and it's already a long format, is it? And if you do unstack, basically you make it wider and shorter, is it? So that's what unstack means. And when you do unstack, if you didn't specify the level, the index, is it? And it will go with the inner one first, is it? So that's how this inner one go to the column. So from row change to column label. Okay, so this is regarding unstack. Okay, and so this is the unstack data, is it? And if you do stack, you make it taller and narrower, is it? So it's going to move the column to the index, is it? So it's make it longer. Okay, so this is stack and unstack. Previously, we also learned. And then next, let's take a look. So here for data frame, this is data frame. Is it a shape? It's 4 row and 3 column. Is it? And for index and the column, and you give them name. Is it? And for the index, here you have 2 lists. And for column, you also have 2 lists. So this is, again, hierarchical indexing, is it? So there's a hierarchical index for both row and column. You have multiple level. And then what the next one try to show is, then you can also name the index. So this is kind of like you do Excel, is it? You have row give a name and the column give name. Is it so similar? So here you see for index, then it also gives the 2 level name, is it? And for the column, you also give them the name. Is it? So this is for the name for the multiple level. Okay, you can also have the name. And then for data frame, it's similar, is it? So once you have either index or column, is it? And then you can use the label. So this is the label. Specific named label, is it, to select out. And over here is column, is it? So it's column indexing, okay. So if we take a look, is it, if we take a look over here, is it, so this is, you select Ohio, is it, this is the column label, is it column label, okay. Okay, so that's regarding data frame multi-level hierarchical indexing, is it? And what the next one try to show is, it says you can also reorder and sorting levels, because over here it involves multi-level, is it? And the first one shows we can also swap the level. So if you call the function swap level, and if you recall key 1 and key 2, is it, those are the indexing, okay, the 2 level index labels, is it? And we also name them as key 1, key 2, is it? And you can swap them, because initially it's key 1 is on the left and key 2 is on the right, is it? And if you swap, you see, they can also swap them. Okay, so here is how do we use swap. So then you can specify the index name, okay? And what next one try to show? Over here, it first show us the frame. So this is the original data frame. Okay, original data frame. That's the data part, okay. And over here, we have, this is what? This is label, index label. Is it index label? And over here, we have column labels. Is that column labels? And we also have the name. Okay, so anyways, so this is frame. And then you can call sort index. Okay, and you specify which level. Is it? So this is 0, level 0, and this is level 1. Is it? So you are going to sort basically. We saw the result. It's sorted. Is it sorted by this level 1? Okay, so this is sort index. Okay, sort index. And what is the next one? Try to show us you can swap, and after you swap, you have a data frame, is it? And then you can sort the index. This is time you do the first, you do the 0, is it? It's the same thing, is it? You first swap, and then you, because after we swap, 1, 2, 1, 2, go to the left, AB go to the right, is it? And then you sort it. That's how you sort this level, okay. So over here shows we can do swap. We can also do sort, is it? And what is the next one? Next part to try to show is do summarize status by level, okay. So we have data frame here. Is it data frame, the original data? And then over here, we want to do sum. And the sum, it tells us which level. Is it the level is at K2? Is it? It's going to do the summation. Is it? Okay, and do the summation then based on the index. Is it? So that's how the results we can get is this. Is it? Is this? And of course, you use the value, do the summation. Okay, do the summation. Okay, so that's regarding do the sum. And then what is the next one? Try to show is it says you can also sum, and here it says level is color. Okay, so color is over here. It's a column, is it? And it's sum what? Is axis is 1, so this is column. The axis is 0 is regarding row. Axis 1 is column. Okay, so you are going to do summation based on what? Based on column. And the column, which column? Is it? It says okay by color. Is it? Okay, color you have 2 green. Then this 2 you're going to summation and the red. So that's how the result you will then just have single green and single red column. Okay. So sometimes we also need to do some summary statistic. Okay, then next, let's see. So we have a data frame, and this data frame is built through what? Dictionary. Okay, so we have this data frame, and the second data, it's based on the original data frame. So this is the original data frame. We have 4 columns, is it? And you can call the set index function. It says set index will what? Will create a new data frame, is it? And using the column you specified, and then what? As index. So basically it's kind of, you move column to index, is it? Move column label to index label. So then your data will be changed to what? With only 2 columns, is it? Then you only have 2 columns, is it? And the C and the D get changed to what? Change it to index, is it? Okay, so That's regarding set index. And for set index, you can also set some argument. And here's a drop false. And the previous one shows CD, both C and D column change to the index. If you said drop is false, it will be kept. But then your index will also have those two columns. Okay, so that's what this part mean. Because sometimes if you have the scenario kind of like you collect data frame, is there some columns are numbers and some columns may be categorical data, is it? Then in that case, you can do this set index. Okay, so that's regarding set index. And over here, it shows we have multi-level index, C and D. If you call reset index, is it? Then it's going to bring it as a column. Okay, so that's what reset index do. So it's a little bit kind of like, but it's not stack and unstack. Be careful, okay? Stack and unstack did what? Stack and unstack is if you have multi-level. If you have single level, then it will, then all will be converted as a single column. So that's what stack and unstack do. And this set index and the reset index, so you can pick a partial of the column, make them to the selected as index. And you can also make index as it get back as column. Okay, so that's what this set index and reset index mean. Okay. Okay, then next, let's see. We have this data frame, so it's pretty straightforward. Okay, has two column, key and data one. And then let's take a look. The second data frame is that you have key and you have data two column. Okay, so both are as column. And over here, we use the method called merge. Okay, so you can merge multiple data frames together as a expanded data frame. If you just call merge, you don't specify access. What is going to merge is going to kind of expand, okay, make it wider, etc. So expand on column, expand on columns. That's what it does. Shows here, okay. But over here, if we go back to take a look at our data, is it, we have, all these are default index, is it? Not we specify, is it? But the key and the data, two, those two are as column, is it? So if you don't have anything to specify, then they will look for overlapping columns by default. Okay, so that's how merge works if you don't specify anything. And a lot of time you can specify when you do merge on what, is it? And merge over here says on key because both data frame has this column. So you can specify that specific column and do merge. Okay, and also be careful when we do merge, if we take a closer look, for DF1, the first data frame, we have what? We have A, we have B, and we also have C, is it? So we have this A, B, C, three different key. And for data frame 2, we have A, we have B, we have D, is it? The first is A, B, C, the second is A, B, D, okay? Two different data frame. And then when we call merge, what we get, we only have B, A and B, and so we didn't specify the merge. So by default, the merge does the inner join. Okay, does the inner join. Merge. So look for the comments, okay, based on and C and D are dropped, okay. And then next, let's see. So here we have a data frame has two columns, is it? And the second data frame also has two columns. And this time, if you take a look, the name of the column, none of it is the same, is it? But the column value, is it? They share some common ones, is it? Share some common ones. Okay, share some common. And when we do this kind of merge, is it? Do merge, and this is considered left, this is right data frame, is it? And then you based on what? You can also specify, okay, here it says for the left data frame, I'm going to select this column. And for the right one, I'm going to select this column. Is it? So I'm going to select these two columns and find the common values. Is it? And build this new data frame. Okay, so that's what this merge means. So you can specify the specific column, okay? And then next one is similar df1, df2, okay? And over here, and previously when we said merge, we didn't specify the how argument, is it? And we can also give the how argument some value, is it? Here says, okay, I'm going to do outer. So if you specify this mode, this is what? This is outer join, is it? Outer join. So it's a union, is it? So it includes everything. It's not going to drop anyone, is it? So that's what outer join means. And if you take a look at the result, is it? It has everything, is it? Including C and D. And if the other from the other data frame doesn't have the corresponding value, then you just fill it with name. Okay. Okay, so that's regarding merge, and we repeat here that df1, df2, okay, two data frame, and they share this common column regarding key, is it? And then in this case, both column got the same name, is it? And when you do merge, you can just specify, is it? Specify on the key, the name of the key. And also, you can also specify how. Is it how we said you can do inner, you can do outer. Is it, you can also specify left or right. What over here left means you're going to keep all keys from the left. So left is df1 in this case. Is it? So all keys from df1 will be kept. And for df2, if the key appeared on df1, it will be kept. Otherwise, if it is not, then that won't be included. Okay, so that's what this left or right means. So it's based on which data frame, okay? And you can, inner and outer we already see, is it by default it's inner. Inner looks only common ones, okay? So it's kind of intersections, okay? Okay, and then the next one, let's see, we have this data frame called left data frame, is it? Left data frame, we have two keys and we have left values, is it? And we also have right data frame. We also have two key and value, is it? And this time we said we are going to do merge. Okay, merge both data frame. And you specify the column you are going to be based on merge and how it's include everyone. Okay, so it's outer join, Is it is outer join. So if certain item doesn't appear in the original data frame, then it's going to be just filled by NAND, okay, with the new data frame. Okay, so that's merge. And then over here, this merge shows, is it you specify on key, is it on key? And over here, let's take a look. So the original, is it this left and right? Okay, let's take a left, we have key 1, key 2, is it? And the right, we also have key 1, key 2. Then we have the value, is it? And then over here, when it does a merge, it says only cap key 1, is it? Use key 1. And this is also inner because it's by default. It didn't specify how, is it? But here it has the suffixes. So what is that? That because you both also share K2 column, as they share the same K2 column. And what over here, that means, okay, each of it, they are not going to be just based on, is it? So that's why they add the suffixes. Okay, so for the left one, they add left, for the right, they add right. Is it? So that we know, okay, this is from left and this is from right. Okay, so you are not, when you do merge, you are not going to, not going to look for the common one between these two. Okay, so these two just like any value. So they will be treated as value. And when you do merge, you just based on this key 1 column. Okay, so that's what this part means. Okay, and then next is that's merge on index. Okay, so what does this mean? So over here, let's see, we have left 1. So this is a data frame, okay, and the right 1. This is the second data frame. The second data frame. Okay, and then we said we are going to merge. Is it? And the merge for the left, we said, okay, we are going to pick the key. Is it pick the key? And if you recall previously, it said for data frame, when it merge, if you don't specify by default to look for common column. Is it? But here, for the second right data frame, the column is called the group value. Is it? And A and B is right data frames index. Is it? That's why over here when you say, because otherwise if you don't specify it, cannot do the merge. Is it? Because to look for common column. But here you don't have common column. But the second data frame, its index has common items as the first data frames is column. Is it? So that's why you say, oh, for right, I'm going to use the index. So I set it as true. Okay, that's what, then they are going to look for common ones between these two. Okay, so that's what the right index or left index mean. Okay. So you can also use the index if you want, okay? So for one data frame from column, for the other data frames using index. So that's also allowed. And over here, it's similar. It's just, you can also specify it's outer join or inner join, okay? So that's pretty straightforward. Okay, then next, let's see. Next, we have this 2 data frame. Okay, so the right ones looks like this. So for the index, it's multi-level. Is it a hierarchical index? Okay, so this is a hierarchical index. Okay, and then what over here is that, okay, we are going to do merge the 2 data frame. Is it? And it says, okay, for the left, it's going to use key 1, key 2. Okay, let's take a look. The left key 1, key 2, those two are column name. Column name, is it? So it's state, basically, and the year. Is it state and year? Okay, so that's for the left. And for the right, if you take a look, state is index now. Is it? And the year is also index. It's not a column, is it? Column name as event 1 and event 2, is it? So it's different, is it? The index and the column names different. And when you do this merge, is it? Then you can say, oh, left, you select the column name. And then right at the index, you need to set it as true. Is it? And you also want to specify the mode for the merge. It's outer, so include everyone. Okay. So that's what this part means. And then next, let's take a look. For this, for left data frame, is it? It has index, and for the right, it also has the index. Okay, and the corresponding column, is it? And then you do the merge as the outer. And this time, because both index, you want to do the merge based on index, not the column, is it? Then did you see, you just specify left index as true, right index as true. Then basically, did you see, we kind of make the merge the data frame wider, is it? And it use index to do the merge, okay. Okay, so here it shows a merge method. And we can also do join method. So merge is not the unique approach to do the merge, okay. You can also select join, okay. Okay, and then let's see. So here we have, this is left data frame, and this is right data frame. Okay, so we have that. And then you say left join with right, and it's outer. Okay, so this join didn't specify index, so it's based on default index. Default index, is it? And it's based on what? It's based on the left one. Okay, so it only the left, all the index on the left will be considered, is it? Okay, so, oh, and over here, because it's outer join, if we don't specify it's inner join, then if it's inner join, it will be based on left. Okay, but here, because we specify it's outer, so all index will be considered. Okay. So if you take a look, the result, so everyone is included. And then over here, it says, so we have left and right, is it? Here we have those two data frames. Then you said join. Join is specified on key. Okay, on key. And then the result, if we take a look, is it? So here is the result, is it? So the result, it's based on the key. Key is the left data frame. This data frame. And for this data frame, so it's based on its key. Okay, based on its key. And for the other one, you call it a group value. Is it? For the first one, it's called value. So you have two new column, is it? And based on what? Based completely on the left one. Is it left data frame? Is it data frames key column? Is it? It use that to do the expansion. Okay. Okay, so that's this one. And then next, let's see, over here, we have a couple of data frame, is it? So we have the first data frame, and then we have second data frame, and we have third data frame, is it? And what we can do, you see, here you can also, so when you do join, it's not just two data frames. You can have multiple data frames using join. Okay, can combine all of them, all of this, is it? And then in this case, it's, and because here it's specify outer, is it? So it will include all the index. This is the index, is it? And if you have multiple, then for the join, if you see over here, it's a list. Is it a list of data frames? Is it data frames? So you put each data frame in a list, is it? Then it will get all three together. So basically in this case, it's just make it wider, is it? Get all three combined together. So you have a wider table, basically. Okay, so that's regarding the method called join, okay? And the next method, you can also do concatenate or concat. Okay, so let's see. So the first one, this is NumPy, is it? And over here, it's pandas, okay? So for NumPy is concatenate, and then you can specify NumPy array, and then also specify the axis that you want to concatenate, is it? Okay, anyway, so that's NumPy. And for pandas over here, we have three series, and they all have named index, labeled index, is it? And with label index, if you call the concat, so concat you can plug in with multiple series, is it? And what you achieve over here, because you didn't specify, not like this. This means you're going to expand on column, is it? And here you didn't specify, is it? So it's concatenate by row, okay? So by default, so it's by row, is it? So make it longer, okay? All three series. And if you specify the axis, is it? Over here it says column, is it? And then you make it wider. Okay, so this is concatenate, and then let's take a look more concatenate. Okay, so here we have some data frames, is it? It's all series, basically, in this case, is it? And then you can do what? You call the concatenate. You can specify axis. So it's one, so that's expand by column, is it? By column. And expand by column, is it? And over here, okay, and over here. So so by default, over here, you didn't specify, as I didn't specify, so we have A, B, and F, G. So it's include everyone, as it include everyone, and expand it. And the second one, it shows concatenate, and it shows join mode. Is it? Join mode, it's inner. Okay, it's inner. Then let's see. Then inner, it will only look for what? Look for the commons. Okay, look for the commons. So just be careful here, okay? So for intersection, okay? And then for the next one, it does the concatenate. Here you specify the axis, is it? And axis by column. By column, you also specify which row, basically, here, as it is a join axis. So you specify the specific row that you are going to do the concatenation, okay? So you can also do this, specify. So over here it's just show a number of ways, okay, we can do data wrangling, okay. And what the next one shows, it's similar that over here, okay, you concatenate this 3 series, and over here you set keys, is it? And then the idea is, so this is the first one, second one, is it? And here we have the third one, is it? And for this third one, and the key, that what it means, it means you add the name for the rows, okay, you add the keys for the row, okay. So that's what this part means, okay. And here you have 3-1, is it? So this part is for S1, is it? And then the second one is for S1, is it? I have 2 S1. And then this third one is for S3. Okay, so you can specify the keys. Okay, so that it kind of look like you have hierarchical indexing, is it, for this one. Okay, so that's regarding that one. And over here, okay, over here it shows you do the expansion on what? On column, is it? On column. And we concatenate. And then this time you add the key is on what? You add the key, then it's the column name. Okay, so add keys for the column. So these two are associated with each other. Okay, so it depends on how you specify. Okay, so that's regarding concatenation. Okay, regarding concatenation. And here, what the next one try to show is we have 2 data frame. So here we have the first data frame, and here we have the second data frame. First one has ABC index, second has AC as index, is it? And then we try to concatenate. Here is on column, is it, on column? And you also specify key level 1, level 2, is it? And this will be associated with column, is it? So let's see what the result look like, is it? Then that's what this, is it? So original, this is from the first one, is it? And this is from the second one, is it? So that's how this name, the key name goes with the original data frame, is it? And you specify it as key, okay. And basically over here you have a hierarchical level, is it? And you can also achieve the same goal. Okay, you see, you use dictionary, is it? So this is a data frame. Data frame, is it? And the value is data frame, and the key is a string. This is key, is it? You can also do that. And then build this new hierarchical data frame, okay? So you can also do this kind of merge, okay? And then next, let's see over here. And over here, similar, is it? You concatenate the 2 data frame on columns. So this is columns is key, is it? And you can also give them name, is it? So that's what we saw previously, is it? Previous, but this time you also add a name, is it? For the new level, is it? So you can also do this because you have 2 levels, is it? Okay, then what the next one try to show is here we have 2 data frames, is it? A, B, C, D, A, B, C, D, is it? And then what it try to show is you're going to concatenate 2 data frames, is it, to data frame. And then you are just going to do the merge, do the concatenation, is it? Concatenation is that you ignore the index, is it? So you're going to be merged. You have the same column, is it? Same column. So you are going to basically be, oh, A is here, is it? So A is going to be at the end of the first data frames column, is it? And this will go to B, and this will go to D, is it? So you do this concatenation. So you basically make your original, so make the frame new data frame longer, is it? Longer, is it? So that's what this ignore index, then here it will serve. Okay, so then this time, then it just do the concatenation, it ignore the index. Okay, ignore the index. Okay, so so that's the first part of our data wrangling information. Okay, and we have more information needed to cover next week. And I think that's all for today. So Monday, we will continue our discussion on data wrangling. So if there is no questions, so I'm going to see you all on Friday. Okay, so bye. And stop recording.